Hi, welcome. My name is Eric Simpson, an online weight loss specialist for busy professional women who are looking to lose weight and tone up without having to count calories or spend hours exercising each day. In my training video today, I'm going to speak to you about 8 habits for optimal physical health. And the first thing I'd like to say is this. Look, as I go through these 8 things, if you find that you're doing none of them at all, then please don't feel overwhelmed by thinking suddenly you have to try and implement all 8 of them. That would not be a good idea. It would be quite overwhelming to do that. So what you want to do is just get a pen and paper, make a note of what these 8 habits for optimal physical health are, and then decide which ones you'd like to implement, and maybe just implement one thing every week or every 2 weeks until eventually you've implemented as many as you think necessary into your own lifestyle. Now, I will say this, trying to maintain these all of the time is not the easiest thing. I know that I try and implement as many of these 8 as I possibly can, but do I do them all the time? Not always, but I try and do them more often than not. Okay, so without further ado then, let's get into habit number 1. Habit number 1 is choose whole foods. Now, it's pretty obvious why we're looking to choose whole foods, and one of the reasons is we can reduce the amount of additives and preservatives that are being put into our body. Look, there's enough pollutants out there without actually adding it into our food as well. Not only that, when you eat foods that are whole, you're going to stabilize your blood sugar levels, you're going to stabilize your hormones, you're going to keep insulin levels down, and you're going to find that you feel more satiated, and weight loss becomes far easier when you're eating whole foods. So that's number 1, eat whole foods. Number 2, get enough sleep. Now, a lot of people talk about getting enough sleep, and you've no doubt heard get 7 to 8 hours a night. And that's the general kind of standard figure that people give. You may get away with a little bit less, but generally 7 to 8 hours a day is pretty good. But here's the thing on top of that, it's about consistency. And what I mean by consistency is, what time do you go to bed at night? Is it changeable? Are you going to bed at night, one night 10, then 12, then 11? Try and keep that element of your bedtime routine as consistent as you possibly can. The more consistent it is, the better quality sleep you're going to be having. So definitely get enough sleep, but keep the hours that you're sleeping consistent, and that includes weekends as well. Number 3, move more. So include cardiovascular training that's going to get your heart rate up to a level whereby you couldn't hold a normal conversation. You'd have to gasp a little bit in order to have that conversation. You can buy things like heart rate monitors that can measure your heart rate so you know what level you're working at, so you don't overdo it. But cardiovascular training needs to be done at a level whereby you're slightly out of breath. And also look to include some weights as well. Weights are one of the things that's so misunderstood, I would say, when it comes to women's health and fitness. But using weights, starting off with light weights, easy exercises, nothing too complicated. There's so many benefits for using weights, which include reducing the risk of osteoporosis, joint protection, posture protection, and boosting your metabolism, thereby making it far easier to manage your weight. So that's number 3, move more. Number 4, stretch as part of your active daily living. So what do I mean by that? You can be stretching right now as you're watching this, assuming you're watching sat down. You can take your arms out and stretch the torso, take the arms high, you can rotate your head, your neck. You can work in your chair as part of your normal active daily routine when it comes to stretching. So I'm not speaking about having to put on gym gear. I'm just saying get into the habit of maybe just stretching, standing 2-3 times whilst you're at work. So stretch. Number 5, be more mindful. So what am I talking about here? Start of the day, end of the day. I'm simply saying when you start the day, think about what's coming up for the rest of the day. Forewarned is forearmed. Just maybe sit down, have a quiet moment at the start of the day, look at your diary and just think about, okay, I've got this appointment, I've got this to get done, I've got this meeting, whatever it is, and just mentally prepare yourself for what's coming. Is a great way to sort of move into your day in a far more relaxed way. Or maybe at the end of the day, you stop at the end of the day, you reflect on how your day went, and then you look to try and improve upon it the next day. But keep it as simple as you possibly can. So be more mindful. Number 6, drink enough water. This is one that a lot of people here look, and it makes perfect sense. Our bodies are made up of 80-90% of water, so it would make sense to keep ourselves hydrated. And just quickly to let you know how to check for hydration, some people say, pinch your skin as a test. The best way to check for hydration is when you go to the toilet, you should have clear and copious amounts of fluid, as simple as that. So, if you're not a big fan of drinking just plain water, which I personally am not, I add a cordial to it. But if you don't want to add a cordial to it, like a blackcurrant juice or something like that, what you might want to do is just get a pitcher of water, and overnight you slice some lemon, pop it in there, so the lemon infuses into the water. So in the morning, you've got a nice pitcher of lemon water, or it could be cucumber, or it could be apple that goes in there. But anything just to give it a little bit of taste if you don't just like the blandness of just water. Another thing that you could do to encourage yourself to drink more water is get a nice bottle. You'd be amazed at having a nice bottle, how that will motivate you to actually want to drink some water. So get a nice bottle that you can drink your water from. And progress, I said, if you're not drinking a lot of water at the moment, let's say you're drinking nothing other than just tea and coffee and thinking that's hydration, which it isn't, that's more of a dehydrator. Think about maybe to start off with 1 glass of water and then building that up until you are passing clear, copious amounts of liquid fluid when you go to the toilet. Don't go from being a desert to suddenly becoming a water bowser. That wouldn't be a good idea. Number 7, get outdoors as part of your normal day. So I'm not speaking about getting out there in your gym gear and your special running shoes. I'm just saying, can you get out of your environment that you are in, your indoor environment, and just get out and get a bit of sunlight, a bit of fresh air, and again just decompress a bit from what's going on in your normal work environment. Doesn't have to be particularly long, 5 or 10 minutes in the fresh air will do you the power of good. And finally, number 8, unplug once a day. This is quite a big one, I think, because especially from social media, I know that I can be guilty of going onto social media and suddenly what I thought was going to be a quick 5-minute thing can turn into half an hour quite easily. So unplugging from social media, which we know is kind of designed to keep us on there and to keep us going down umpteen different rabbit holes. So that's a particularly good idea. Unplugging from emails, or maybe only checking emails once or twice a day rather than being on the phone, going from social media to emails, which is very, very common. I know that because I've done it myself. And then finally, before you go to bed at night, unplugging completely from all electrical devices. This is something that I really try and work on a lot in my own personal life. And I had an interview with a lady called Anandi Francis, and she spoke about an hour before going to bed at night, unplug from all electronic devices. In fact, have no electronic devices in your bedroom. Now, there's an interview on my channel. It's under the sleep section. It's a 3-part interview. She speaks about, or I interviewed her about and asked her questions about what to do before bedtime routine, spoke about what your bedroom environment should be like, and spoke about how to quieten down that busy mind before your head hits the pillow. Because you know what it can be like for some people, and you may be one of them. When you go to bed at night, you've got 1,000,001 things buzzing around your head. So definitely check out that video interview series on this channel. So just to recap then those things very quickly. Number 1, choose whole foods, reduce the amount of additives going into your body, stabilize hormones, blood sugar levels, keep insulin levels down, help you to lose body fat more easily. Number 2, get enough sleep. Be consistent with the hours that you go to bed and wake up. Move more, get some cardio and some weight training in there. Stretch. This can be done at work. It doesn't need special gym gear at all. Be more mindful how your day starts, or maybe reflect on how the day's gone at the last thing in the evening and make the next day even better. Drink enough water. Don't go from 0 water to a water bowser. Be progressive and add some flavour in there if you don't like bland water. Get outdoors, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes, and unplug from social media, emails as much as you can, just to give your brain and your mind a bit of a break. So there you have it, 8 habits for optimal physical health. If you have any questions or comments at all, then please feel free to leave them below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the notification button so you can be informed when I release my next training video. Until then, take very good care and bye for now.